this was the app that I decided to do. It's called StarChart, and it's by Escape Velocity Limited. I did try to download it to get a little better picture of it, but it was taking a very long time to download onto my computer. So I'm just going to go through it based on the description from the Windows Store. So I was really impressed when I looked at this. I kind of browsed around on some other star and astronomy apps, and they just didn't seem to offer the same amount of information and the quality that this one did. This one had quite a few good reviews on it as well. And what I was really impressed with was that this also has the ability to use augmented reality if there is an AR mode on the devices with those sensors on it. So if you have a computer or a tablet that has those that ability to do it, then this app is even better because of that. So just briefly talking about the description here, this app basically lets you explore the solar system and look at the different planets and their moons and the constellations. And it also, what I thought was very cool, was that it lets you travel both forwards and backwards in time. As a Christian teacher, this is definitely something that you would want to be careful with, depending on the age and the maturity of your students. But I think that, when you're teaching your students about creation and about evolution and how, people who don't believe in creation might think that the universe began, that this might be an interesting way to show them what they believe about that, because it is important that we know both sides of the argument. So I think that, as Christian teachers, use discretion, but that this could be a very helpful tool, even if, you're just using it to critique. And again, it does talk about the AR device and things on there, and I think that that's super cool. What this, if you're out on the sky and you have your tablet, take this, use the AR and hold it up, and you're able to see exactly what constellation, what star, what planet it is. So definitely something that I think could be very helpful for students and teachers. Here are some screenshots from the app, and I really was impressed with the quality of the images here. There's not just something that was thrown together. And the details are very careful, as we're looking here at the rings of a planet and seeing that, they went in and actually have the different pieces of ice and dust here. So that's going to be very helpful when teaching about those rings on planets. Moving on to, looking at the planets there, it's not just a picture there, it's actually a 3D model, and they did that on purpose. And, you can even see the light from the sun. And so what it looks like on Earth, as the sun shines, you can rotate through the planets, and, even showing the constellations there as well, and what the Earth, where that is located on those constellations. And I think that gives a good perspective for students as well. Speaking of constellations, you can take a peek at those and see how the lines are drawn together, and they even have the little image pictures that go along with it. Again, you'd have to make sure that those were appropriate to use in the classroom. But I think that would be extremely helpful when learning about constellations for the students to be able to see on something that is a more digital device. Very cool because you can actually track different satellites and the space station. And I know my students think that that's great. We were at a museum last week and we were told that we could, how to go and find that. But this, even shows it as well. So that would be really fun for students to be able to look at and be able to find. Again, showing the different planets and where those are actually in the constellation. You can find Jupiter here in part of the constellation, and that can really give students that extra perspective as well. Seeing the different galaxies, and then they have the night mode part for viewing the constellations, which I think is very helpful. So you can actually take this outside and point it up to the sky, and it will tell you the constellation, but you're not going to lose your night vision by doing it. So it does have a night mode, and I think that's, just shows the quality of this app. So all in all, I thought this was a great one that I think that teachers would be able to get for their classroom, suggest for the parents to be able to get, and especially if you have that AR mode on the computer, I think it would make this app even better.